Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start your engines. And if those engines won't start, this is the place to be. We've got 64 of the nation's best and brightest auto technicians competing here today in Nashville for the chance to be crowned the U.S. Auto Tech National Champion. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. I'm your host, Ray Flores, and I'm joined by ASE Master Certified Technician Faye Hadley. Faye, we are in store for an amazing competition. This newest addition to the Elite Trades Championship Series features professional auto technicians as well as students who are learning and putting in the wrench time to prepare for their future career.
Ray, this competition is awesome. I love what Ideal is doing by showcasing really the knowledge and the problem-solving skills that it takes to make it in this career and encouraging the next generation to get their hands dirty and get them attracted to start a career in the trades.
Well, Faye, for this inaugural competition, 32 professionals and 32 student technicians qualified at various events across the country. Now, they're here in Nashville to compete with the best of the best to be named national champion, as well as walk away with $40,000.
That ought to get these guys excited.
I'm with you. Let's take a look at the schedule for today. We'll start with the student technician semifinals. The top 5 will advance to the student technician finals, where they'll compete for the title of best student technician and $40,000. And that's just a preview of what's to come next. A showdown of the nation's top pro auto techs in the professional semifinals, followed by the pro final, where we'll crown the first ever national champion and award another $40,000.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hit those buttons.
Let's take a quick look back at how the first round unfolded for our competitors.
In the first round, both the students and the pros were tasked with working on an A-Tech training board, where they diagnosed the electrical system within the board and had to identify the bug that was placed by the judges. But having this knowledge and understanding of the electrical system in a vehicle is absolutely necessary. You've got to walk before you can run, and having the electrical aptitude is so essential.
And it was clear which competitors were familiar with the board and those who weren't. For the judges scoring today, speed and workmanship are both factors, but correctly diagnosing the issue is equally, if not more, important. Following the first round, the field of 32 students was cut in half to 16. So here are the 16 students who will be moving on to the semifinal round. As we take a look at the Service Titan schematic breakdown.
For this round, the students will be performing a simulated driveline service consisting of U-joint removal, identification, and replacement. The students will be tasked with removing both U-joints on either end of the drive shaft. They will then be required to identify the U-joint size and then select and install the proper replacement part onto both ends of the drive shaft. They will be judged on completion of all required steps, overall workmanship, proper tool usage, and timing and safety. They will have 60 minutes to perform this task.
Well, here we see Dallas Frew from Lima, Ohio, first place after round 1. He's looking to keep his momentum going. There's River Dorn, who seems to be a fan favorite amongst the competitors. We'll keep an eye on him today.
Absolutely, and check out that nice spread of snap-on tools they got to work with. Not bad.
You ready?
Let's go down to the third member of our team, Chip Wade, to kick off the semifinal round.
Welcome to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship Student Competition, Round 2. All right, everybody, let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And the party has started, Faye.
Yep, the pressure is on. And as I mentioned earlier, speed is definitely an asset out in the field. We get paid on a flat rate system, which is per job, not per the hour. So the faster they get this done, the easier it is to rack up the money. But in this case, it's a lot of stress too. You can see him starting to panic.
Well, Randy Giroux getting everything set in the vise. And the competitors are starting off by doing what, Faye?
Right now, they're trying to remove those C-clips that are holding in the U-joint. And you can see some of the students are clearly not familiar with these tools. This is a job that is not reserved for the starting out technician. This is going to be for a journeyman or a line technician, someone that does heavy line work rather than when you first start out.
Here's a look at the hands-on shop brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. We see the competitors continue to get into their workflow, Faye.
Absolutely, this is stressing me out watching the students struggle with these tools and trying to get those C-clips out. Those are actually really hard to do. It might look straightforward, but there's definitely some finesse to that. If you haven't done it before, it's gonna be a struggle.
Well, Yusuf Kisa is working diligently, trying to get the job done. We continue with the student semifinals here from Nashville. We're in Music City, but with the focus on automotives here today with the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. The 2021 U.S. Auto Tech National Championship is sponsored by Little Giant Ladder, the Little Giant King Combo. The King of Ladders, proudly designed and engineered in the USA. Duluth Trading, dedicated to people who do. And Service Titan, the #1 customer service software for today's contractors. Ideal Industries has been proud to showcase the amazing skills and celebrate the men and women who keep our country running. That's why Ideal Industries created the Ideal Elite Trades Championship Series to help grow all the skilled trade opportunities across the country. This year was the 5th Ideal Electricians National Championship competition, and 2021 launched the ETCS with the addition of the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship competition. In 2022, the Service Titan HVAC National Championship competition will be added as Ideal and other industry brand leaders continue to champion the hardworking men and women of the trades. Welcome back to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. The students are continuing to work on these U-joints, and we've got Chris Gutkowski, who is trying to hammer out that U-joint. Chris Gutkowski from Lima, Ohio.
Go! Taking #1!
Currently standing in 8th place after round 1, Faye. I love the energy and the passion from Chris Gutkowski.
Right, definitely show that not only is this challenging, but it also, I mean, it is fun.
And also, speaking of having fun, Randy Giroux, who's from Lima, Ohio, he's in 7th place after round 1. He seems to be enjoying himself.
Absolutely, and it looks like he may have a little bit of experience. I see him using those tools properly.
And speaking of the task at hand, Peter Alexander, he's from Coloma, Michigan, 4th place after round 1. Parents owned an auto shop back home where he grew up around cars.
That makes a lot of sense. He's definitely in the lead right now. He's already got that yoke off and working on the second part of removing that U-joint. Rivers, dropping tools. Oh my gosh.
Well,
yeah, so inside those U-joints are full of grease, so they're getting their hands on there, tools are getting slippery.
Oh yeah, he is, no question about it. These new parts are slick and slippery, trying to muscle in that U-joint and getting it out.
Oh, poor Rivers dropping some stuff. You can see the stress right now. He is dripping sweat.
Meantime, Peter Alexander, he's got the U-joints out.
And that cap is off. And underneath that cap, we've got a ton of little needle bearings. Once you get that cap off, you want to keep it in place on that U-joint as much as possible, because if those little needle bearings pop out, it's very difficult to get them back in.
And now we focus our attention on Jacob Edholm. What a response from the fan base here as he's cranking away on the socket.
Yep, I wonder if he's had some experience before, because he definitely is moving forward with confidence.
It is certainly very exciting. And my goodness, I believe we have our first finisher.
No way.
Randy Giroux is the first finisher. Unbelievable. And now we'll send it down to Chip Wade.
How are we feeling?
Freaking awesome. Holy cow, I'm breaking up a sweat. I'm greasy, I'm bloody. That was awesome. Woo!
Take me through. How do you feel like you did?
Awesome. This drive shaft is OE+. She's ready to go right back in a vehicle. She's working mint. Those U-joints came out beautiful, went right back in just the way I planned.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Shake my
Take a load off.
Thank you.
All right, Chip Wade with Randy Giroux, who's the first finisher. As Kian Jenkins getting himself all set.
Drop that cap.
Look at that, Peter Alexander working hard as well. What a job by Peter Alexander to get the finish. So Alex Black cracked out one of the U-joint caps.
And speaking of cracking caps, once you cause damage to those, there's no going back. There are no replacement parts here, and that is a very tight fit, which is why it's essential that they measure those caps properly and choose the right part.
You have to love the energy and the passion from River Dorn, who gets the finish. As River Dorn has 30 seconds to spare. What a relief for him. Jacob at home, who's finishing up as well. What a competition, Faye.
Oh my gosh, this is so stressful. And like we mentioned earlier, time is not the only thing that matters here.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Can he get it out? Oh my goodness, look at Trevor Jones go.
Put your tools down.
And the sign of Trevor, what a finish. Tremendous. Take us through that, Faye.
Oh gosh, well he is struggling to get that U-joint out. There's very little space to move that U-joint up and down to get it out, especially under this pressure.
Who is going to move on to the finals? Let's go back down to Chip Wade for the Little Giant ladder climb to the finals advancement.
First up, Peter Alexander. Nice job, Peter. Great time. Next up, Christopher Gutowski. Next up, Randy Giroux. In the fourth slot, Alexander Black. In the final slot, let's give a huge round of applause for River Dorn. The big man.
So those are our finalists, Faye. What do you think they're feeling right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm sure extreme excitement, energy, enthusiasm I'm seeing, but also like a little bit of disbelief, right? Because we saw Alex crack that cap. He probably wasn't expecting to make it into the finals.
Congratulations to Randy Giroux, Peter Alexander, Alex Black, River Dorn, and Chris Gutowski. They're going to make their way to the briefing room. Faye, let's take a look now at the Student Technician's final schematic, brought to you by the University of Northwestern Ohio and Garage Gurus.
For the final round, it is time to bring out the engines. Each one of our student competitors will be working with a late model GM V8 engine. First, they'll perform diagnostic tests on the engines to identify any faults. They will need to perform a compression test as well as a leak down test on each of the cylinders to help them identify the issues inside of these engines. Once they've made their diagnosis, they'll order the replacement parts from the judges and reassemble the engines to specification before clocking out. The students will only have 2 hours to complete this challenge.
Welcome to the student final of the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. It's time to count them down, folks. Join with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And the final is underway. It is a race against time, but you also have to make sure you get the task done properly.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to miss anything. And we have no idea how many issues are actually present with this engine and where they're coming from. This particular GM-V8 is a well-known power plant, and it's very well loved, great aftermarket support. So this is actually a great engine to choose for these students because it's probably something that they've had a lot of familiarity with in the past, even if not working on them, but from an enthusiast standpoint as well.
What is Peter Alexander doing here, Faye?
Right now he's pulling off these spark plug wires. You can see that bright yellow coil pack connector at the top, with those small little wires going in between the cylinder head and that exhaust manifold. So in order to access the spark plugs, you've got to remove those spark plug wires, and then you'll be able to fit your spark plug socket on and get them out. You're going to have to get access to that cylinder in order to be able to install your compression tester and your leak down tester.
Here is River Dorn, who in the previous round had some parts slipping through his hands, but that is not to be the case here in the championship round.
Right, so not only are these guys working against the time, but you can see that it's also about skill and about proper tool usage. Here, River is removing every single one of those spark plugs with a socket.
Randy Giroux, is he doing the proper technique, you would say, Faye?
Right now, everything looks great so far. That was a quick disconnect on that plenum. He clearly knew what he was doing. I can imagine that without seeing one of those before, it'd be really difficult to get those off. You don't just pull them apart, you gotta press in on those little tabs. So he definitely knows what he's doing. Here we've got a compression tester running. So you're gonna put that tester into the spark plug hole and turn the engine over. And you're just gonna see how much pressure builds up in that cylinder. And that'll give you an idea of the health of that cylinder on that engine. They're gonna have to do it for every single cylinder on those V8 engines.
Okay.
He looks to be a bit, his eyes sort of look concerned at that moment, Faye.
Definitely. I wonder what he's going to find underneath. And you can also see that they're trying to work as efficiently as possible. He's not taking off anything that he doesn't have to. He's leaving the coil packs installed, leaving the wires on the coil packs, leaving everything in order.
Well, the final 5 are starting to tear these engines apart. We'll wrap up the student finals and find out who will be crowned national champion and walk away with $40,000 when the 2021 U.S. Auto Tech National Championship returns.
If you can do something you enjoy every day, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I think the automotive industry is a great example of that. UNOH is an industry leader in automotive, diesel, and high-performance motorsports education. If it goes fast, UNOH is probably involved. If you don't love what you do every day, it's gonna make it tough to get up and go to work.
I love waking up to come to school.
I get to wake up every day. I'm excited to go to school. I'm excited to learn about my industry and be a part of it and learn and grow within it.
Welcome back to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. We're off and running in our student finals competition, and the intensity is high, Faye.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we've got the cylinder head off here.
This is Chris Gutowski.
All right, so we can see Chris, he is inspecting. We've got a head gasket is what he's holding right now, and looks like he's discovered a problem in the head gasket between 2 of the cylinder. Oh, there it is. Yep, we've got a break in between those 2 cylinders. So probably during that leak down test and the compression test, he was noticing a little bit of compression, a little bit of leak down, those numbers going down, which allowed him to identify a problem with those 2. Now, a lot of these are one-time use parts. So we can see, here we have some cylinder head bolts. This is a one-time use part. So you have to know what you're doing, and you have to order a new set of bolts to put it back together properly to specification. Now, there's a very specific torque that has to be used here as well. So let's see if these students know what's up when they go to put these cylinder heads back together, and if they tighten them properly from the inside, working their way out. He's about to install it. You want to be very careful. You don't want to drop that gasket. You don't want to crush that gasket. This is a one-time use gasket that can be crushed only once.
River Dorn seems to be quite relaxed at the moment as he's just going about his business like it's a walk in the park.
Yep, definitely took some time to inspect. He just got that intake manifold off. It looks like over here is Peter putting things back together. Oh my gosh, he is flying through this. Valve cover is going back on right now.
Well, I love the enthusiasm that we're seeing from the fans here at the final. And Peter has clocked out.
Steady and methodical style, which I really appreciate.
It looks like we have the first contestant to finish.
This is a big job. A lot of parts have to come off, a lot of parts have to go back on. And imagine, especially when we're working within a really tight time frame, they can't miss anything. So if there is like a bolt or a nut that they leave loose or something like that, you don't want to end this job with anything left over.
I like how Randy isn't even looking. He's sort of just moving about, you know, grabbing out tools, acting like he's been there for years. And Randy Giroux has clocked out, our second finisher. He's standing by with Chip Wade.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh my gosh. Are you relieved?
Yeah, I am. I'm glad it's over.
You seem super confident
Yeah,
right now.
I'm pretty
Happy
confident.
with your performance?
Yeah. If it was in a street car, I'd send it on the road, and I wouldn't expect it to come back.
That's a great indicator. Well, I love the confidence. Take a load off. We'll have some results here shortly.
All right, sounds
Thanks.
good. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Love you guys.
Is he even sweating? So cool. I love his enthusiasm too.
I'm rooting for all of them, Faye. I love seeing all the heart and determination.
I know, it is so precious.
And here's Chris Gutowski, who is nearing the completion of his task.
Yep, checking over all of his notes, making sure everything is good.
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
Chris Gutowski finishing with confidence. He's standing by with Chip Wade.
Nice finish.
Thank you.
This was a roller coaster. I saw excitement. I saw frustration.
Yeah.
Excitement, then frustration again. How did this go for you?
Started out really well. Everything was going my way, you know, exactly what I thought was the issue. found another issue, which I didn't think of at the time, but glad I caught it, you know, so I don't get the penalty for that. Made a mistake, forgot to replace some bolts later on, so I had to take it all back apart again. Now some of the frustration there, having to redo it all, but you know, still had 9 minutes left with my mistake in there, so hopefully everything else is great. I'm not the first one done, but sometimes that doesn't matter.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
A rest. You got 8 minutes before the time runs out. Looks like Rivers, the last one left.
Awesome.
We'll see how he's doing.
Thank you so
Congrats.
much. Thank you.
Nearing the end of the final, River Dorn looking to finish.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look at that. As time expired, like a shot at the buzzer.
Yup, that is stressful, especially towards the end when you've got the countdown. I don't even think I could process a thought at that point.
I'm not a Packer fan, but I feel like River Dorn is going to be taking a Lambeau leap right now with the fans. And here are the judges congregating. I feel like it's a meeting of the minds, Faye. What are they talking about?
Oh my gosh. There's so much to consider. There's so much that when you're trying to work within a tight time frame, you might look over, you might forget, you might skip, especially if it's your first time working on one of these engines.
I love the respect amongst all the competitors as well. 40 grand is on the line and being known as the best student in the business. Let's go to Chip.
All right, in third place, taking home $10,000. Let's give it up for Peter Alexander. Nice job, Peter. In second place, taking home $20,000, Chris Gutowski. In first place, grand prize, taking home $40,000. Let's hear it. That's right. That's right. Let's get a standing ovation for Randy Giroux. Let's go!
My goodness, what a win by Randy.
That was awesome. His reaction was so genuine, so excited for him. And Randy has such a bright future ahead of him. I mean, this was a hard competition to be able to excel in all aspects of this field, not just in electrical, but then in heavy line and the driveline work, and then finishing up in engines. He was really put to the test and so well deserving of this win.
I just won $40,000. Yes, I did, Mom. You're on live camera right now. I'm dead serious. I'm holding the check. I just won $40,000 at the US Auto Tech competition. We love you. Okay, love you too. Bye.
That was amazing.
That was insane. My mom is losing it. She's swearing.
How can you not love Mom? Randy Giroux taking home $40,000. Welcome back to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. Congratulations once again to our student champion, Randy Giroux. Impressive work from Randy. Now we've made it to the main event. Our professional auto techs have been itching to hit the competition floor, and their time has come. Let's reveal the 16 semifinalists who will be competing for their shot at the finals. Let's take another look at the Service Titan schematic breakdown of the semifinal challenge. Faye.
For the pros, they'll be performing the identical task as the students. So to recap, the competitors will be performing a simulated driveline service consisting of U-joint removal, identification, and replacement. They'll be required to remove both U-joints on either end of the drive shaft. They will need to identify the correct U-joint size, followed by selecting and installing the proper U-joint replacement onto both ends of the drive shaft. They'll be judged on completion of all required steps, overall workmanship, proper tool usage, and of course, timing and safety. They will also have only 60 minutes to perform this task.
And now it's time for the pro semifinals. Faye, what do you think is going through their minds?
I am so excited to see how they tackle this challenge. I'm wondering if they're be focusing more on trying to beat the clock rather than sort of focusing on trying to figure out how to get these things out of there, you know?
So much on the line, $40,000 and a right to advance to the final. Bishop Ortiz with a little bit of good luck on his chain.
Oh, yeah, what was that? A little bit of coin rubbing right there, huh?
Logan Brown relaxed and in the zone.
Yeah, he looks
Round two
totally
of the
chill.
US Auto Tech
Now we send it down to Chip.
Championship Professional competition is ready to begin. Let's count them down, folks, from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
And we are underway here in the semifinals. 5 spots to the finals are on the line in this semifinal. What a challenge it is going to be as we take a look at Jason Jackson, who is getting to work immediately.
And look how deliberate their moves are. Already they're so far ahead of the students in these first few seconds, but it looks like they're moving almost effortlessly. Not really flailing around, they're not looking through the tools. They already know what they need and they already know exactly what they have to do. Here we got a pro move going on. So easy to remove the C-clip with a little bit of flathead screwdriver actions. This guy's definitely done it before.
Bishop Ortiz a little bloody.
Wow.
A little blood on the finger of Bishop Ortiz.
Definitely probably moving a little bit too fast right now.
And for Bishop Ortiz working with a bloody right hand.
Yeah. Not good, not good.
Not ideal. Bishop Ortiz from Cypress, Texas.
Absolutely, and he looks like a strong guy, so the amount of torque that it took to turn that tool is a little bit concerning. I hope he didn't mess that up.
Bishop Ortiz, 11th place after round 1. Not low in energy. He's certainly a very unique personality.
Definitely represents Texas well, I'd say.
Chip is standing by with Trey Becker from the University of Northwestern, Ohio.
All right, Trey, for the second round, the pros look like they're working with the drive shaft.
Yep, we've got a drive shaft out here. We're doing a simulated drive shaft service. So what we're doing is actually removing, speccing out the replacement U-joints, and then installing them. So this is really important, something that technicians deal with on a regular basis, because it's literally what gets the power from our engine to the ground.
What's the hardest part of this challenge?
It's hands-on for sure. And so they're getting in there, they're having to press the U-joints out, but be sure that they're also taking care to not do any damage.
Because they have to measure these, right, to replace them.
Exactly, and we're measuring down to the 10th of a thousandth. So we're getting very precise on this to ensure that we have the correct replacement for the application.
Thanks, Trey.
And Logan Brown from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, 9th place after round 1. Certainly quite confident in his ability.
Yep, and he knows exactly how to use that tool. He's adjusting them to exactly the size that he needs, putting that C-clip back in. This might be the hardest part of that job. Those C-clips are very difficult to work with.
Well, here is Andrew Bueller, who's dealing with some significant issues at the moment.
Yep, and this is something that I normally do by hand, so watching him move forward with the power tool is a little bit stressful for me. Oh, and something looks broken. Okay, that does not look good.
Some tense moments here by Andrew Bueller.
Yep. Oh gosh, what a disappointment. This clearly had nothing to do with him knowing how to do the job, but was rushing, was trying to go too fast, not checking proper alignment, and just getting that joint stuck in there.
Well, he is sweating, and there are some critical moments for Andrew Bueller. Sean Pickup. Here's a look at the hands-on shot brought to you by Duluth Trading Company.
Definitely showing some aggression with that hammer. Wow, that's a lot of aggression on those little caps.
And Logan Brown.
Looks like he's double checking his work right now. Looks like he's checking out those C-clips, making sure everything is seated properly.
Here we go.
And he's done the job properly.
Who's going to be first?
Logan Brown might be done. Woo! Oh, I think,
Logan.
yes, he is. Logan Brown, the first one to finish. Tremendous. You could tell that
Still 36 minutes remain, plenty of time.
Logan Brown is absolutely exhausted. Will Amundsen be the second guy to finish here in this, our semifinal?
Yep, looks like he's going back over his check sheet, just double checking all of his work. I love his attention to detail. You can clearly tell that he's really concerned about the quality of his work.
And David Almanzon is done. What a relief. Michael Hudgens given a final examination if he's done. And that is the end for Michael Hudgens. And look at the fanfare for Bishop Ortiz.
Yep, just plugging away, very steady, double checking his work. Looks like a high quality job he's finishing up right now.
And Bishop Ortiz is done. Even with the blood, he concludes. What a way to power through the pain and the agony.
Yeah, leaving a little bit of his DNA behind as a signature on that drive line.
And it doesn't seem like first round leader Dan Fuller is going to be able to advance. AJ Neely, I think he's thrown in the towel as well. Final few moments of
10,
this,
9,
our semifinal.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tools down.
That is the end of the semifinal. What a round, Faye.
Well, Ray, you can definitely tell a difference between how the pros attack this challenge as opposed to the students.
Let's go back down to Chip for the little giant ladder climb to the finals advancement. Take it away, Chip.
That was one heck of a challenge, huh? That was a bear. First up, join me on the front row. Michael Hudgens. David Almanzon. Bishop Ortiz. Logan Brown. It's getting real. One spot remains, and our top 5 moving on to the finals. Please welcome Josh Whitman.
Buckle up, folks. This competition is heading into overdrive when we get back.
We're at the Southfield, Michigan Garage Guru Technical Service Center. We provide training for today's technicians. We have 11 brick and mortar facilities in the U.S.
We have a shortage of techs. We're going to have to bring young people in. We need to get them excited about fixing cars. Our programs are designed to generate excitement into the whole learning process.
With the Garage Guru program, we're equipping that younger audience to be prepared to go into automotive. You have to have a desire, and that desire and that passion is what gets guys going every day to get up and go into work.
Welcome back to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship, Faye. We've made it to the finals, and we've got our final 5 that will be duking it out to see who's the best. Faye, let's recap the schematic breakdown for the Pro Finals competition brought to you by Garage Gurus and the University of Northwestern Ohio.
Once again, a very similar task to what the students performed, but these are the professionals, so we're putting a little bit more on their plates. Each of our pro competitors will be working with a late model GM V8 engine. First, they'll perform a diagnostic test on the engine to identify any faults. The diagnostic test will include performing a compression test and a leak down test to help identify any issues within the engine. Once they've made their diagnosis, they'll order the replacement parts from the judges and reassemble the engine to specification before clocking out. Now for the pros, both banks of the engine will contain faults they'll have to diagnose and identify, whereas the students, their faults were both contained to a single bank. The pros are also going to have 2 hours to complete this challenge.
From 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And we are underway, as you observed. None other than Bishop Ortiz, the bloodied hand man himself. Well, here is Michael Hudgens, who is, I like the swag of Michael Hudgens. I like the blonde hair, I like his demeanor.
Yeah, I like his style too. We're seeing everyone else pull out those spark plugs by hand. He's getting creative using a tool. He's clearly done this before.
And there's David Almanzon, who is a unique personality, I'd say, Faye.
Yeah, he's got some flair and proof that technicians can have long hair and get the job done just as good as everyone else.
And look at Bishop Ortiz. He's talking with the crowd.
Let's get it. Can I get a little noise? Give me a little something.
He's being
Give me
vocal.
something, baby.
He's embracing this
Too
moment.
quiet.
He is definitely an extrovert, definitely draws energy from those around him for sure.
We have 5 of the best in the country. Logan Brown continues to work diligently here in Nashville.
Yep, and look at him, he's actually turning the crank by hand. He's got his hands on the front of the engine, that crankshaft pulley, rotating it. So just very, very, very precisely, incrementally, so we can watch what's happening with that leak down tester.
And now they're giving Josh his tools and what he ordered.
Yep, okay, looks like we've got a set of spark plugs there. Looks like we've got 2 head gaskets. And in those boxes, I'm guessing we've got some one-time use head bolts.
Okay, so the defective part is the head gasket.
And Bishop Ortiz is making his order as well.
Yep.
Okay. And that's just like one part of it, right?
Seems to be a bit confused, Faye.
Right, it seems like he's got one part of the puzzle diagnosed, but is a little bit confused as to whether or not there's something else wrong with this engine.
And Michael Hutchins has finished. He's the first one to end it here in the final.
Wow, unexpected.
And now we go to Bishop Ortiz.
Okay, and here, ooh, this is a little risk-taking right now. What we've
Why
got
so,
going
Faye?
on, well, what we're seeing is that he is installing these fasteners. This is plastic on plastic. What he's installing right now is the cap on that plenum cover. So it's plastic into plastic with metal fasteners. Now, it's risky to use an impact because you can't judge how tight you're installing those, and it's easy to strip the plastic, and it's also easy to crack the plastic. So he's definitely making a sacrifice here for time.
Yep, did all that, everything done. Stop the timer.
Bishop Ortiz, he is done.
Yep.
Exhausted. A lot that he gave, including his blood, in the semifinal round.
It's wild.
And here in the final round, Bishop Ortiz has finished.
Nice job.
Oh no, and right away, look at his face. After finishing, just seconds after finishing, it looks like he realizes that he's made a mistake. I'm interested to see what he thinks he forgot.
Give me a hug, man.
He needs some loving from his buddies. When you make a mistake, it could cost you the competition. Who knows what can happen? Let's send it down to Chip, who's with Drew Jablonowski of Garage Gurus.
You know, Bishop was going through, and they saw him torque these bolts here.
Yeah.
Well, these bolts are just the cover. What he forgot, who knows why, is he actually didn't bolt it down.
Oh, no.
To the actual engine itself.
So that's a pretty big oversight.
It is. So he's actually, we have it all judged out, where there's actually penalties for every component that they remove and replace. And so he'll be docked accordingly on his time.
So we really have no idea who's actually winning yet.
No clue.
And that could cost Bishop Ortiz the $40,000 and the national championship.
Easily, yes.
Oh my goodness. And Logan Brown has finished. And he's standing by with Chip Wade.
That was tough, huh?
I'm not familiar with these motors. I'm double guessing myself all the time. I think it slowed me down a little bit.
Well, hey, it looks great.
Yeah.
I can't really read the judges' faces, and they're gonna rip this thing apart and see how you did.
Oh, great.
All right, man, congratulations.
A workmanlike effort, I would say, by Logan Brown, Faye.
And he finished before time was up, and his engine looked pretty complete, so we'll see.
We are nearing the end of this championship round as we take a look at Josh. And Josh is done.
Nice job, Josh.
David Allman's on trying to finish off as well. Final moments of the championship round in the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship with 40 grand on the line.
Can I just say, I love the fact that he's still using his fingers to tighten in those bolts and make sure that they're threaded in properly. He is not sacrificing quality for time here. So, I don't know. He didn't finish, but I would still give him some points for that.
David Olmanson worked till the very last second. When we come back, we'll have the winning results, and we will give away $40,000 and crown our professional U.S. Auto Tech National Champion. Don't go anywhere. The 2021 U.S. Auto Tech National Championship is sponsored by 7-Eleven. Take it to 11. Garage Gurus, premium automotive training and support, on-site, online, and on demand. And the University of Northwestern Ohio. Turn your passion into a career. Welcome back to the U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. The tools are gone. The engines are idle. 5 technicians await the judge's decision, and one will soon be crowned national champion.
That's right. There are a lot of factors that the judges have to consider to decide the national champion. And we've seen all day that the fastest competitor is in no way guaranteed victory. An engine like this is so complex that the judges are seeing everything on a totally different level. Really, anybody could win.
Now, if you're an auto technician watching this, either a pro or a student, and you want to try your hand at qualifying, good news. The U.S. Auto Tech National Championship is back in 2022, with the finals being held in sunny Tampa, Florida. All you have to do is visit usatnc.com now for information and updates on how you can compete with the best in the U.S. Plus, exciting news for the Elite Trades Championship Series, as it will continue to grow in 2022 with the addition of another trade championship program, the Service Titan HVAC National Championship. Let's send it down to Chip, who has the judges' results. Chip, take it away.
Awesome final heat. You guys did absolutely amazing. I'm going to get right into it for you. In third place, taking home $10,000. Let's give it up for Michael Hudgens. In second place, taking home $20,000. Let's give it up for Josh Whitman. And the winner of the first ever U.S. Auto Tech National Championship, bringing home $40,000, is Logan Brown.
Logan Brown from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. He wins the first ever U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. What a moment for Logan Brown.
That was such a close race. It was impossible for me to tell at the end who the actual winner would be. There was so much skill, so much talent shown in this competition, and I think every single one of these pros has a ton of continued success ahead of them. What a great competition.
This is life-changing. It is insane that you guys put this together. I never would have imagined there'd be anything like this, but for actual professionals, never thought I'd ever see that, never. Thanks, Ideal, thanks for this competition. It's been a blast. It's been the most exciting thing I've done.
What a moment for Logan Brown. What a day for the auto trade, showing off their skills, and this is only a tiny fragment of what these techs do every single day. Thanks for joining us today in Nashville at the 2021 U.S. Auto Tech National Championship. From Faye Hadley and me, Ray Flores, until next time, keep firing on all cylinders, America.